Let me just preface by saying that was an awful night of sleep preparing for this eclipse. My mind would not turn off. I kept thinking about, oh, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to rain on us, everything you can possibly imagine going wrong. The telescope burning up under fire, just everything. I'm out here near Great Basin once again with the wonderful opportunity by that Airbnb host to be out here one more time for the eclipse, since Great Basin National Park is right in the wheelhouse for path of totality. We did have the opportunity to stay the night. We are set up now and ready to go for the eclipse. Now, as you can see, there are some clouds up here, but clearing from the other side of the sky, it is clearing out actually quite nicely, and it is showing by the start of the eclipse here at about an hour and a half, it should be nearly 100% sunny. So that's fantastic. The sun is just about to pop up between these trees right here, and it'll continue to rise, and it'll start about here in the sky when the eclipse starts. So it'll be high enough above the trees that we won't really have a problem. This solar eclipse is a little bit different from the one we had a couple years ago in 2017. This is an annular solar eclipse, and what that means is that the moon is actually smaller than the disk of the sun, which gives it the appearance of a ring of fire. Now, a total solar eclipse like we had a couple years ago is basically the moon is just larger than the solar disk, so that means it covers up 100% of the sun. This is a little bit opposite though. The moon will only cover up about 98% of the light of the sun. You'll still need a solar filter to look at it safely. Do not ever point a telescope even during an eclipse. The only exception you can is during a total eclipse at totality. That's the only way you can take the solar filter off. But otherwise, do not ever point a telescope or binoculars or a camera lens, whatever, at the sun without a proper filter. Now, like with my equipment, I will have my H-alpha telescope out here. I'll have a solar filter on my regular 5-inch Maxitov with my DSLR, of course, for protection, so that none of the equipment or my eyes get damaged. For those of you watching this live, we're in for a real good treat. This is actually one of the best ones, and the next one's not for about 20 some years in the United States. So this is a really good opportunity for a lot of people to get out and enjoy such an amazing astronomical event. Now, this solar eclipse today is going to be about 3 hours long. We're going to have about an hour and a half running into totality, and then about 3.5 minutes here from Great Basin. The maximum you can get is just over 4 minutes. So 3.5 minutes is actually pretty decent. And then we'll have about an hour and a half of running out of totality back to the sun being full again. But it should be a really amazing treat, and I can't wait for all of us to witness this. As we near the end of this year's annular eclipse, I just want to say I'm incredibly grateful for being able to experience this live. For those of you who watch this on the internet, I hope you had a beautiful live stream. And for those of us that got to see it live, wasn't it absolutely incredible to see the temperature dip, to see the darkness almost come upon us through totality? It was just absolutely incredible. Now, I've seen a total solar eclipse, and while it's similar, it's not quite the same. You still get enough sunlight to still be bright enough all over the foreground. However, you do get a very stale sunlight. It is only about 5 to 10% of what normal sunlight is. So you don't have to have sunglasses on or anything when you're just looking around the foreground, because it is so dim on your eyes, you don't need anything extra. But boy, when totality ends and the sun comes back out, the temperature goes right back up and out comes the sun again. During totality, we did get a little bit cloudy at times, but that's okay because we still got to see it, and that is what is important. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Clear skies as always.